What is up, YouTube world? It's Coffee back with some more NFL talk, NFL news. We got to kick it off with some talk of my Buffalo Bills. What is good, Bills Mafia? Man, I'm just getting that football fever type feeling as this offseason progresses and we get closer, through the offseason programs and whatnot to preseason and then finally regular season, man. But one of, my fellow Bills Mafia in the Twitter sphere, wish Jerry Hughes, just hopes that Jerry is having a great offseason. And you see this clip here, this highlight, man. Hughes didn't get the sack on this one, but you see the way he snatched up that the fumble and in the, got his bearings together and took that thing back to the house. What a great play by Hughes, man. And I was shocked, as I know we cut him and he spent last year in Houston. It was really tough to say goodbye to Jerry Hughes as a Bills fan. Comment if y'all feel that way as well. But man, I was shocked, as his production got lower and lower with the Bills or whatever, but he's definitely still had a lot of gas in the tank. As I'm like, wow, he had 9 sacks and 2 forced fumbles with the Texans last year. Like, this guy is still ready to ball. And, it's cool to see him still getting active out there, even at this stage in his career. And, he is a Texan, so he's loving life in Houston. You guys remember that amazing was that his senior season or his final season with TCU where he was putting up crazy sacks? I believe so. But like, still to this day, man, Jerry Hughes, that trade with Indy, what a steal, what a deal by the Bills. Like, we got Bean and McDermott here now. They've been making a lot of great moves and done so much since they came to Buffalo. And we know in the past, some of our GMs, coaches over the drought and whatnot were not, they were not making the best moves. But that Jerry Hughes trade, man, that was on point right there, man. So what an amazing career that's still going on by Jerry Hughes. And it's crazy with the Bills as we've came so far in these past few years and we remain right on the brink of that Super Bowl ring, and we're gonna get it. You know what I mean? Quit hating. That's what I'm getting at. Is it was cool to, of course, end the playoff drought and all the you know uh, winning seasons and just everything we've done. We know obviously we fell short. Got to get over that hump, and we're gonna do it. Just you wait. But it's crazy because the Bills went from being looked down on and all that to then with the team turning it around, and of course Josh Allen coming to town, Stephon Diggs, among other players, getting national NFL sports media coverage, and some people saying, "Damn, these Bills, like, these dudes are for real. This squad is good." To then now we get a lot of hate. It's the up and down roller coaster. The fickle fans of football or whatever. But obviously Bills Mafia is the best fan base in the world, right? But with all that being said, a lot of negativity being spewed about the Bills as now the AFC East is ours, man. Jets, Dolphins fans, Patriots fans, they love to hate and just talk ish. But I like this tweet here that this gentleman, Dave Myers, he's a big part of this Buffalo Bills platform built in Buffalo. Shout out to them and this individual. Check out what he put here. He said, reminder, the Bills have had their full roster of defensive players on the field for 0 games last season and still only lost 3 games by a combined 8 points. But please keep the narrative in the national media that the window has closed. Like, for real, y'all, flock out of here with all that BS talk, man. You guys seen the way we came in just bullying teams, you know what I mean? Obviously, at the end of the day, it just matters, what can you do? Can you get to a Super Bowl? Can you win a Super Bowl? But for real, like, the window's closed. Stop it. What are you guys talking about? And I love that he pointed this out. You know what I mean? And I keep telling everyone how big it's going to be that we got the dynamic duo back once again. As it looked like that was over. It looked like Micah Hyde's career could possibly be over. Then at the end of the season, it's like, wait, they're activating him from the IR. Are we going to have him out there in the playoffs? Didn't end up happening. He practiced, and Jordan Poyer, this guy, the 3 games that we lost, Poyer wasn't out there. Like these dudes, that safety duo is just amazing. We're going to have them back among a lot of other injuries. You've seen what he said. We had our defensive starters out there fully all healthy, or even playing banged up. It didn't happen once last year. So cut that windows closed talk. Are y'all serious? Like, shut the fuck up with that. And then here's another great tweet by another NFL Bills media member. He says the Bills lost 3 games last year by a combined 8 points regular season. They had the second best plus minus in the NFL at 169. Niners at 173 was number 1, and the Eagles were number 3 at 133. Forget everything else that happened with this team. The talk of their demise because of one bad playoff game has gone too far. So, for real, that window closed talk, all this negative talk, like, where do y'all get this from? Like, where do you guys pull this out of your arses from? You know what I mean? All the injuries. I mean, you got to stay healthy. That's a part of the game. But the talent, everything that this team has, like, you can't front. Ain't no future in your fronting with that BS fluckery you're talking about. And the playoff game, it was ugly. Okay, Eli Apple, eat a cock meat sandwich. Still, you buster bum. I can't stand that guy, man. You know what I mean? I don't like to wish negative things upon people. I don't want to see nothing too bad happen to him. Just a nice slap right in the mouthpiece. But listen, we were out of gas, emotionally, physically, everything. It was a wild season last year. But yeah, only 3 losses. 2 to divisional rivals, Dolphins, Jets, who we went back and got our get back and beat, I remind you. And then the third one was that crazy game against the Vikings. That game was bonkers, man. Like, listen, in all the years of the Bills being bad, good, everything, I've only maybe turned off 1 or 2 games. I always watch every game to the very, very end. And I still watch that game, but it's just been a long time since I was on the edge of my seat going nuts, Like, that game was insane. I don't even want to get back into talking about it. Comment if you think that was the wildest game of this season last year. A lot of people were like, yo, this could be a playoff rematch, y'all.
You guys keep talking about the New York Jets. The man is from Miami. He was born in Opelika, went to high school at Miami Central, went to Florida State for college. He's coming to the Dolphins. Like, I don't know if the Dolphins realize it yet. I don't know if Dalvin Cook realizes it yet. But he's going to wind up with the Miami Dolphins. If he eventually winds up with the Jets, wouldn't they have already realized that the Dolphins are the front runner in this race and realized they would have had to offer him more by now? Dalvin Cook is going to look at the landscape, wisely so, as he leads into training camp and say, all right, what team is willing to pay the most money for me? The Miami Dolphins were one of the 2 teams that were willing to trade for him earlier this offseason, ultimately couldn't get the compensation right. You guys can talk about the Jets all day. The Dolphins will come to their senses, Dalvin Cook will come to their senses, and we will have a reunion here in Miami, and there will be more weaponry for the Dolphins to play with this season.
All right, so all this talk, where is Dalvin Cook going to land? My Bills, there was a lot of talk about him possibly coming and playing with his brother. Obviously it's just talk, but here we're hearing more talk, more than just talk, and that is that the Dolphins have actually put an offer out there, so will he be a fit with the Dolphins? Will it happen? The other team in the discussion as well is the Jets, right? And man, both AFC East rivals. There's a lot of exciting talk about the AFC East, man. Like I said, Dolphins, Jets beat us. You're going to lose some divisional games at times. Even the best of teams do it. Hell, even though all those years where the Brady and New England was running it up and getting all them Super Bowl rings and, really just cementing their dynasty in NFL and sports history, they were losing some divisional games. We beat them not many times, okay? I don't really want to talk about it, but Fitz definitely did beat Brady in Buffalo. That was a thriller of a game. But in one of the only games where you've seen an opposing coach, Belichick, remember he was challenging that the Bills did score a touchdown when we got called down on the one to get that field goal. He wanted one more shot with the ball. But the Jets used to beat them. Remember Rex Ryan would have their number. The Dolphins did at times. Like, you're going to lose divisional games. But we got our get back. But what I'm saying is they're good teams. They're on the come up. And of course, we know Rodgers is now in New York. Is the AFC East the most exciting division? Last year, I thought it was going to be the West with Russell Wilson going to Denver, although that was a mess. He started to get it together towards the end of the year, but the AFC East is shaking and moving. Where do you guys think Dalvin Cook will land? What do you think about the AFC East? Let's talk about it all, Now, speaking of someone about where the fuck are they going to land, is we got to talk about DeAndre Hopkins, okay? I keep bringing up my Bills, but I really thought it was going to be, even before they cut him, when it was just talks of the trade, some of the interviews he was doing, it felt like Hopkins was trying to give signals about, hey, Buffalo's where I'm going to be at. But ultimately, we saw no trade happen. The draft came and went. A lot of people speculated that some would be worked out with some draft picks or whatever. But also, and then it seemed like he was going to stay in AZ. Hopkins even said some things to that effect. But then they cut him, right? And right after he got cut, I'm like, okay, someone's going to sign him really soon. Well, all this time has gone on. I damn near forgot about the DeAndre Hopkins watch. But one of the teams who has been, said to heavily be pursuing him was the Cleveland Browns. Reports are now indicating that they dropped out of, trying to sign Hopkins, but we're also hearing the Titans, we're hearing the Patriots. And did the Patriots sign Juju and Gesicki, or am I bugging? Is that someone else? I don't know, but I guess the Browns really like a receiver that they got, I believe, a draft pick maybe, and they're saying, we're cool on the Hopkins move. But what is it, guys? Is it just that price tag? Back when my Bills were really being mentioned with Hopkins and everything, a lot of fellow Bills fans were like, when it comes to the cap and all that, we're just not going to be able to swing it, and I always look to others to give me them cap breakdowns. It's not just something I'm never really up on in the way they structure these contracts and everything like that. But I don't know, man. Hopkins still a free agent. Where will he land? Is your team one of the teams said to be pursuing him? Do you think you guys are going to sign him? Like, let's talk about it all. I mean, wherever he goes, he is going to make a very big impact. This we know. Where will it be? And also, real quick too, guys, make sure to comment and let me know who your team is and whatnot. And make sure to subscribe, because we're gonna be talking a lot of NFL content all season long. That's what we do over here. And we have the live stream call-ins and all that. It's a lot of fun, man, as well as talking other news topics and whatnot.
What's going on with Josh Jacobs? He's tweeting stuff. Clearly, he either hates your son. I don't know that for a fact. But
it's okay, Connor. But it sounds I love your mullet anyway. It's okay.
Thank you, I appreciate that very much. But what's going on with him? And then also, I saw you talking on your show about the Jimmy G contract. Is that situation just kind of going to go away, or is something actually going to happen with his injury and everything?
Look, I think what happened, let's start with Jimmy G first. Jimmy G came in, and everybody thought he was going to pass his physical. And he didn't. He still had the fifth metatarsal that wasn't healed. So what the Raiders did, and Don Yee did, his agent, they sat down in the room and they said, how do we make this where everybody can succeed? And so they put a waiver clause in, and they decided to put a screw in his foot. They knew he would be ready for training camp, but he wasn't going to be in the off-season program. This was decided back in April. And so, therefore, they deferred the signing bonus until he can pass the physical, which he will. And I think he's on track to do that. And I think he's been instrumental in their team in the offseason in terms of building the camaraderie. Jimmy G has a unique ability to get people to follow him. He is really well-liked. And his teammates like him. You could see it in San Francisco.
Man, so speaking of deals and everything, this Jimmy G situation is crazy. As you heard, he failed the physical. They had to put a screw in his foot, but the Raiders believe he is going to be ready to go when regular season rolls around. But just in case, with the whole deal situation, the signing bonus is going to be held up until he passes that physical and he's got his ish together. But this was kind of crazy, man. Jimmy G tied for active quarterback with the most Super Bowl rings in the NFL. Can y'all believe that? Like, I'm like, oh, that's right. He got 2 rings riding the pine behind Tom Brady. So he's tied with Mahomes. And man, RIP Ryan Mallett. I just got to throw that out there as well. Speaking about backing up Tom Brady, Mallett, that made me think of Mallett, as when I made a video regarding his sad, unfortunate passing, drowned in the ocean, man. That's crazy. The Gulf of Mexico, trying to get back from a sandbar, just went out too deep. Like, that's just crazy, man. But, Mallett was a solid prospect, had a crazy arm, but he got drafted into New England. You know what I mean? Like, that's just during that Brady era. QBs coming out of college just had to say, please, I don't want to land in New England, I don't know, but Jimmy G, 2 Super Bowl rings, tied for the most active, with the active QBs in the league. But also, you heard what they were talking about there. A lot of people are saying, listen, Jimmy G's a well-liked guy. He's a natural leader. People will follow him. And you see someone here, this is an interesting tweet. They said, man, watch him become a fan favorite like Jason Campbell. Man, there's a blast from the past. You guys remember Campbell? They said, man, Campbell with the Raiders, he was a solid leader, a fan favorite. Nothing flashy, but he could get the job done out there. I remember that was back during my Bills era where it was a mess, man. Like, quarterback situation, it was tough. And at one point in time, after Washington, before Campbell going to the Raiders, I was like, wait, maybe Bills, maybe we could get him or whatever. Where else did he go? Didn't he go to Cincy at one point too, or am I bugging? I don't know. But Jimmy G gotta, hopefully he's resting up, getting healthy. Raiders fans, everyone, what do you guys think about Jimmy G? Will he indeed be healthy? Will he be a fan favorite with the Raiders? Comment below. But that's going to do it for this episode of Coffee Talk, talking it up on all these NFL topics. Once again, I thank y'all for tuning in. Hope to hear from you guys in the comments and in those live streams. And catch you on the next one. It's Jay Coffee talking music, news, sports, current events, life, and much more. I'm out of here, guys. Peace. God bless.